You know, it's okay not to do dialysis. One of the unsaid truths of kidney care is that we oftentimes put too many elderly or end-of-life people on dialysis. And by putting a human being that is frail or too weak on dialysis, it does not lead to the best outcome. Remember what hemodialysis actually is. It's taking the blood out of a patient, putting it on a machine, filtering it, cleaning it, and pulling off fluid. This will expose a patient to weakness, low blood pressure, cramping during that session. Oftentimes what I've seen is that we put them through unneeded suffering rather than just acknowledging the inevitable. Our goal in medicine is to preserve quality of life, not to prolong it by any means necessary. But why is this? Well, I know what a lot of y'all are thinking right now, and straight off the bat, it's money, right? Well, it's true that some doctors and companies do have a monetary gain in performing hemodialysis and dialysis as a whole. However, I believe it's oversimplifying to think that's the major or only cause. So what do I think it is? Well, one of the things I've gotten into, especially as I venture into the space of medical technology, is psychology. The psychology of the doctor, the nurse, the patient, and the family members. I describe this as a bias to treat. To a hammer, everything is a nail. And in healthcare, we often have this rote response. If the problem is X, then the solution is Y. It's not necessarily the case just for nephrology, kidney care, but also other specialties. Oncology, when they give chemotherapy to a frail patient, or cardiology, when they rotely do a heart catheterization in a 90-year-old. I think most physicians actually want to help, but never step back and go to themselves, what am I actually doing in the grand scheme of things? But you know who also has a bias to treat? Patients, out of fear of death. Family members, out of guilt. I don't want grandma to die. You make sure to do dialysis for her kidneys. Oh, she's not breathing? Put that tracheostomy in her throat for her to breathe. Oh, she's not eating? Oh, put a peg tube in her belly to feed her. So what can avert this scenario? The long conversation. Sitting down with the patient and family members, explaining the options, and doing a reality check on the current state of health. Unfortunately, this is something no one wants to have, and is oftentimes dependent on the physician, meaning the subjective nature of his or her communication skills, time availability, and their own bias to treat. We do not discuss end-of-life issues enough in healthcare, leading to unnecessary procedures like dialysis, but also dying in a hospital rather than dying at home like most people want to. To me, every patient over the age of 65, when they sign up for Medicare in the US, should have written down advanced directives while they're still in a good state of mind.